We're entering the Colosseum. Holy shit, dude. I just came out of the movie right now and I'm feeling fucking great, honestly. The movie was amazing. It was really something. It was really... I just finished watching Weathering with You. And Weathering with You was like fucking great. It was amazing, honestly. Like, I don't know if I like Your Name or Weathering with You better, but I just can't believe people can make such good form of art. I think the visuals were really stunning. Like the clouds were really beautiful. I really liked the characters. Like all characters were really memorable and they were there for a reason, you know? They fit with the story so well. They're kind of like flowing together. I surely did get way more emotional on Weathering with You than Your Name. I think Your Name was really good. I really enjoyed the movie, really liked it. Also, I really liked Weathering with You. As I said, I don't really know if it's a better movie than Your Name. But I think both of them have some great elements. But if you would compare them, you could still see some similarities. Like, you can see at the end the characters get thrown off in like a different world. I've noticed it, because in Your Name, the two main characters get thrown off in a sort of separate world that still sort of looks like Earth, just in a different form. Same stuff here. Here they were thrown off into like the sky. And is that a separate world? In a way, yes, because they had to use the portal to get through it. But in another way, I mean, if it's the sky, maybe they could just teleport it up and then they fell back down. There's different ways of like explaining it. There's also like, I think the cat was a really interesting character. You can see you had like some of the fan service, as you can tell you, but I mean, it's Japan. I'm not saying that fan service shouldn't be there. I think it was a nice sort of small bit of humor in this sort of movie. But yeah, I would say Weathering with You I took Weathering with You way more emotional than I did with Your Name. I got a lot of goosebumps from that movie. I think the soundtrack also hit a little bit better. Like, not gonna lie, Your Name soundtrack really good. But Your Name, like, there's like this Zen song that really stood out. Meanwhile, I think in like Weathering with You, there was like different stuff that stood out. I really liked the chase scene. Well, there were some few chase scenes in that movie, but I really liked the chase scene where like that has like that electronic soundtrack. I liked it a lot, dude. I remember when I came here, it used to be like full of people. Now there's like nobody. It feels really relaxing walking here like this. I'm not gonna even lie. It's a great experience. Being alone by yourself. Sometimes that's what makes my mind refresh myself. Continuing on with Weathering with You movie. I was really hyped when I saw the crossover characters, like from Your Name to Weathering with You. You had like this sort of Easter egg, I would say, where like you got the main two protagonists of Your Name into the Weathering with You movie. And that was a really nice take. Because I looked at my friend to the left seat of me, and we were like both smiling together. And he's like asking, like, is that him? And I'm like, yes, that must be him. Like, there's no way they did that on accident, you know? Like, it's a plan. It was 100% planned for him to look like that. After the movie had like this very heartwarming moment. What seemed like it's gonna be like end there, but instead they did with a time skip. And when they did a time skip, I didn't know how long the movie was, so I was thinking like, wait, she did a time skip. This isn't over. Is this gonna be like a 2-hour movie? And then in the end, I was sort of wrong. It wasn't a 2-hour movie because I thought they were gonna drag on the story for a little bit longer because they had a time skip in it. Because they were just like, it was building up, like the tension of like, wait, what's gonna happen to the city? There's like so much water, it's all flooded. And I'm like thinking, well, maybe we'll find out, you know, if this is gonna be a 2-hour movie. Maybe they have some sort of way for it, you know. But they didn't have that. It sort of ended with him like finding her back again. I was a bit worried on the time skip because I was really like emotionally affected and I didn't really understand what the hell was going on. I didn't quite catch up the point of the time skip, and so I was kind of like left wondering like what was it for. But reflecting on it right now, I think it was more for like to release the tension, because you had like this very, very hard emotional moment basically in the almost the ending of the movie. And so you're basically doing a time skip to sort of release the tension and make it sort of slow down a little bit. And then like the thing is, it builds back up, you know, the tension builds back up and it just ends in this fantastic finale, which is really heartwarming. Also at the end, I want to say that I had some thoughts about one of the characters. The guy that basically helped the main protagonist at the beginning of the series, he was like smoking. I don't really know his name. I didn't look that much at the names. I'm honestly really bad at remembering names. So I often look at the small details, like the scenery and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed that. So I wasn't really paying attention to subtitles that much. So that might explain why I didn't really understand why the time skip was there, but there was probably a very good reason through dialogue. But basically, I had this idea that the guy that was like smoking and helped the main protagonist, that his loved one was also a god of weather. Is that what it's called? I watched it in Norwegian, so I don't really know. So I thought that his loved one that died was actually a god, weather of God, and that basically made it so that I thought like in the end, when he like stood in front with the main protagonist, and I thought he was gonna tell him like that he picked the right choice by basically letting go of his loved one, just to basically, I thought at the end he was gonna try to convince him to say that he should let go of his loved one, just for the weather, you know, so the weather would be better again, because it's like it's affecting the whole Tokyo, it's affecting the whole city. But in the end, in turn, kind of like you bring the gun again, which is, I think it's really good. You like introduce to the gun like at the beginning of the story, and you legit carry the gun, you carry that one item through like the whole story. It becomes really crucial. I think that's really good filmmaking. It's really good script writing in general, because there's like a rule: if you place a gun in a room, then you gotta use it at some point. Otherwise, there's like no point for the gun to be there. That's like for if you're writing a play or a movie or a film or something like that. Look, there's like a guy with golden arm. I don't know if I can show much of it. Maybe YouTube will demonetize me for that, because apparently if it's nude art, well, probably gonna get demonetized. I don't really know, man. I'm just like really rambling around. I don't really know if like what I said really makes that much sense, because I've been like saying it on and off. And I don't know, back when looking at it, maybe when I'm gonna be starting to editing it, I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna piece together these fucking sentences, man? You say them like 5 minutes after like you've asked. It's just me being socially awkward by walking alone, you know, like you would think when you feel alone you truly feel yourself, but then there's like people running around and you lose your thoughts because you're more focused about not talking, because for some reason it's weird to talk to a camera, you know. I don't know, you think, like at least I think that it's weird talking to the camera, which I shouldn't really do. I shouldn't really think that that's weird, because legit everybody who makes films and movies and stuff like that like does that. But I just think, but I have become a little bit embarrassed about the camera. And you see like a random dude on the streets like talking to himself, you gotta, like I'm trying to look at it from their perspective, you know. Like you see a random dude holding a camera, just talking to himself and walking. You know, like what would you do? Would you be a bit creeped out? Maybe. Honestly, I wouldn't, but I don't know. I keep thinking that people are different, and the majority would, or some shit like that. I don't know. I'm thinking at least if you're not harming anybody, then it's all fine. But yeah, I got a little bit off guard. Let's just go back to Wedding with You. Honestly, my final words on it, very good movie. I really enjoyed it. It's really hard to compare to the other one. Which one is better, Your Name or Wedding with You? They tell their own story, you know. It's not the same story that you would need to compare those two that much. I think there's a world where I just like both of them equally, in a way. And then there's also like a word of me that just wants to critique everything, like to critique the things I love. When we were getting to the movie, right? Yeah, there was like 994 seats, right? And so we were at the theater, and because of the coronavirus, they like basically halved the whole set. They said that everybody who didn't order a ticket after 3rd of March, those tickets would be refunded because of the coronavirus. And so, and we were like, my friends and I ordered a ticket on like at the 3rd of March. So we were like barely over it. And it was like insane. Then we go to like McDonald's, and then we meet some friends, and they tell us that they're gonna watch the movie as well, right? And they didn't know that the amount of people watching that movie basically got halved. And so basically they went almost straight to the movie while we were waiting for one of our friends to come. And then while we were waiting for one of our last friend to basically come to the station, so we could go from the station to the movie, and then we could see the movie. One of the friends we meet at McDonald's basically called them, and they said that only like 300 people, the first 300 people can only come in. We had to basically ditch our friend because of that, because people were legit running at like the theater. And so we basically hurry our way to the theater with our last friend, which like feels bad, man. We were telling him that, but just the train didn't catch up. So we're like in the theater without our last friend, and then we were basically almost the last in line. There was legit only 6 more people left, right? We were 5, and legit the place was there. The place was there for our last friend, but he wasn't there, and they didn't want to wait on him. Like they couldn't wait on him. We asked the administrator if they could wait, but they said no, and so we had to just go into the movie without our last friend, sadly. And I feel really sad for him for not watching the movie, because I think it's a really great movie. It has this, it is intended for more of a young adult or like teenager type of audience, because like I think if you're at that stage you can relate to the main character way better. But I mean, to each human his own, you know. Like you might like get nostalgia, like memories from at the time you were like 16, or even if you're not 16, you can still learn something from it. It's a very good watch. While the movie ended, we were basically talking about how dope the soundtrack was, and all the small Easter eggs. Because like the boat, there was like the beginning scene when he came from the boat. The boat was actually a Norwegian flag, and I don't know if they did that only for our country, you know, because we live in Norway, and this got premiered in Norway, or pre-released, I don't even know. I don't know, like if you would watch it in like Germany, you would get like a German flag. I don't really know that, but it's a very cool thing they did. I did notice it quite well. My friends, if you're watching this, thank you so much. It's such a great movie that it made me do this. It made me go out alone and just talk to the camera and just let my feelings out, you know. Either way, thank you so much for your attention, and peace out. Hope you have a great time.